did something special. It was not. It was just because of my observation power. I used to copy and paste. This technique everybody applies. And yes, when I got my mobile phone, so I started searching methods to learn English, and I got to know from someone. Now I don't remember that copy and paste. Whatever you listen, you speak, you repeat. How did I learn English? The first thing I want to make very clear to all of you, I'm not a person who has been into an English medium school since always. I have been into, but after my 10th standard, and that was also a so called English medium school because books were in English, but nobody used to speak in English. So I cannot say that I ever spoke in English in my school days or in my school life. And one thing I just want to mention, one more thing here, that this video could be longer little bit because I'm going to speak by my heart, whatever I have felt throughout this journey, throughout my life, whatever I did to myself. So I will be speaking, I will be trying to speak each and everything, so this would take little time. So firstly, I'm starting from my childhood itself. I used to be in a play school. There I studied till standard 3, and yes, I agree, books were in English. That has always been my plus point. I used to think that all the books are supposed to be in English except that Hindi literature. But then after standard 3, I got to know my father couldn't afford me to get enrolled in any private school or any in that English medium school. I was in pure government Hindi medium school. So at first or at times I used to think that what's happening with me. मैंने ऐसे कभी देखा नहीं था कि social studies हिंदी में थे और सारे science हिंदी में थे. It used to give me that awkward feeling at the beginning, but then I got habitual of all the things. Standard 4th to standard 10th, it's a very precious and crucial part or the time of a student's life. I think I got 2 comments in one of my videos कि आपकी हिंदी भी बहुत अच्छी है, तो यही रीज़न है. But my brother was in English medium school. That has again been a plus point in my case. So I used to ask him again कि इसकी हिंदी क्या हो, इसकी English क्या होगी. I was so curious about that because as I told you that I had the exposure since my childhood. It was a kind of play school, but still it was my mentality that things are supposed to be in English, that I used to think. So we had a lot of vocabularies, in biology, chemistry, not physics. Physics, yeah, I was interested in, but a good vocabularies about our body and everything, the functions and the name, the technical terms that I wanted to know. So I used to ask him that what do you call these terms in English. So that time Google and all such things were not there. It could be there, I don't remember, but we didn't have that mobile phone again. So I used to ask him and he used to explain me. So he has also played a great role in my journey, I can say, my brother. Then the days passed like that, and I completed my 10th from that school. Then there is a school in Rashi, Ursuline Convent. I really wanted to go there. It was not because it was an English medium school, but just because I heard a lot about that, and I just simply wanted to go there. So somehow I could get myself enrolled there. I was happy at that time, and books were in English again. So this is the problem of, I think, Indian education system also. In so many schools it happens. Books are in English, but people don't really speak. One thing I learned from that school, that now I will have to learn this language because people were there, students were there from English medium schools, achieved 10 CGPA. So somewhere I used to feel inferior in front of them. We didn't have that environment of speaking English language, again I'm saying, but still I could feel that they know English and sometimes they used to talk to each other. So that used to make me feel inferior. I agree to this, and it happens with everyone. If someone else was there, so he or she would have felt the same what I was feeling at that point of moment. Then the year came 2019, and I just challenged myself that I will definitely learn this language. I will do each and everything was possible for me at that time, but I would do. 2019 was a time when I was supposed to be enrolled in my graduation, and I got admission also. I took mathematics, BSc mathematics. मेरी भी thinking बिल्कुल ऐसी थी कि grammar होना चाहिए. There should be grammar first to learn this language. So I just brought the book of grammar from my brother only. He had good collection of grammar books. So I just took one of them. I think some Martin, that was the famous at that time. And I think still it is quite prominent everywhere. People do study, do read it. So I just took that. मैंने बिल्कुल ग्रामर से स्टार्ट किया. Then 8 months passed. Then Corona came. Corona आ गई. Then in that 8 months, what I did, I was not handy to phone that I would open the YouTube channel and I would take suggestions from people that how to start learning this language. ऐसा कुछ था नहीं उस टाइम पे, और था भी तो उतनी knowledge नहीं थी कि I could open that and I could take suggestions from everyone. So I started with the grammar. That what I learned from my father कि grammar is important. My father used to take care of this tense part and all such things. So I started in the same manner. बिल्कुल मैंने ही वैसे स्टार्ट किया. 2 things I used to follow: grammar and I used to talk to myself. Means I used to just imagine myself that I'm standing at the stage. It has always been my dream. It is still my dream that I was standing, I used to think I was standing at the stage and people are listening to me, or I was standing in front of the classroom like a team head or probably the head of the class. तो आई यूज़ टू इमेजिन माई सेल्फ लाइक दैट एंड आई यूज़ टू स्पीक टू माई सेल्फ. ऐसे मैं बोलती थी कि अगर कोई आ गया, आई यूज़ टू क्रिएट सिचुएशंस ऑन माई ओन कि अगर कोई आ गया तो उससे मैं कैसे बोलूँगी, येस दिस इज़ तान्या, या आई एम गुड एट इट, या जो भी मतलब अपने बारे में बताती थी. तो आई डोंट रिमेंबर कि वट आई यूज़ टू थिंक एट दैट टाइम. तो लॉकडाउन में या देयर वॉज दी होप दैट कॉलेज वुड ओपन, बट कॉलेज तो खुला नहीं. तो चीज़ें चलती गई. 2 to 3 months passed, I think. I was already working on my English. Then one fine day I got a call from one of my friends, and that was really a miracle moment for me. She just called and asked me that there is some spoken English class going on. It was not a class, but let me clarify it. It was not actually a class. So some spoken English courses going on. Would you want to join? She asked me this, and the cost was only 299 at that moment. So I thought that yeah, it's a good idea. Let's give it a try. I thought so. So then actually they had their startup, so they provided I think 7 classes for free. But again, I'm speaking class, but it was not a class. I tell you what it was. So there used to be a conference call where one person, one of them who started that organization or whatever it was. Now I don't know about them. So there used to be one constant person and 2 learners used to be there in that conference call. We used to converse on random topics. But now what happens now, if people come to me, so I work on them overall. I work on grammar, their grammar correction, their vocabulary, their idioms, phrases, their overall improvement and grooming. I do with them, as a mentor. And I think every trainer does this thing. But at that time, nobody was there to correct me. We just used to talk to each other like a friend. So ultimately it was a conversation only. Therefore I always suggest this to you people also, because this is my experience. ये मेरी experience है, इसलिए मैं आपको भी suggest करती हूँ कि आप पहले बोलना start करें. I was also not really fluent at that time in English. No, I just knew just little, but still I used to speak. Sometimes it used to feel like a torture that why people are speaking, why they are making me speak. I used to feel like that, क्यों बुलवा रहे वो मुझसे इतना, मुझे ऐसा लगता था. But still I am thankful to them, whatsoever it was. I am really grateful to them. Whatever it was, अच्छी थी बहुत. मुझे एक पॉइंट मिला, एक ब्रेक मिली, और स्टार्टिंग तो बिल्कुल वहीं से हुई. वहाँ पे मुझे ऐसा कुछ नहीं था कि कॉन्वर्सेशन. हाँ, बट वन थिंग आई वॉन्ट टू मैंशन हियर दैट आई ऑलवेज हैव दिस गुड ऑब्जर्वेशनल पावर. मतलब मैं चीज़ों को इतनी ऑब्जर्व करती थी कि अरे वो बंदा हैव यूज़ कर रहा है, उसने वुड हैव कैसे लगा दिया, उसने यहाँ पे कुड कैसे लगा दिया, कैन क्यों नहीं लगाया. मीन्स दीज क्वेश्चंस आई हैड in my mind, and in that one question I used to find that 20 answers around that. Means what I'm saying, अगर मुझे एक मिली कि उसने हैज़ क्यों लगाया यहाँ पे, तो देन आई यूज़ टू रिसर्च ऑन इट. सिर्फ सर्च नहीं, आई यूज़ टू रिसर्च ऑन इट कि हैज़ कैसे लग गई यहाँ पे. देन आई गॉट टू नो कि हाँ शी ही इट और ये सब इट है, ये सारी चीज़ों में हम हैज़ लगा सकते हैं. एंड वट एल्स वी कैन डू विद हैज़, दैट आई यूज़ टू डू. सो आई एम टेलिंग दैट in that one single question I used to find 20 answers of that one single question, and that used to be my strategy at that point of moment. Now if people think that I have a good knowledge in grammar, so it's not because of the thousands books I studied, or I just did something special. It was not. It was just because of my observation power. I used to copy and paste. This technique everybody applies. And yes, when I got my mobile phone, so I started searching methods to learn English, and I got to know from someone. Now I don't remember that copy and paste. Whatever you listen, you speak, you repeat. आप रिपीट करो उस चीज़ों को. तो जो भी मुझे अच्छी लगती थी, जो वर्ड्स, जो लाइन्स, या फिर मुझे कुछ एक्स्ट्रा समथिंग यूनिक इफ़ आई यूज़ टू फाइंड, सो आई यूज़ टू अप्लाई इट ऑन माई सेल्फ. As a conclusion, I just want to mention first I learned to speak, then I learned grammar. It might sound weird to you people, but it's true. First, I started speaking. I also used to speak the broken English, it was with me also. But then I started noticing people. If I'm applying has somewhere, the first thing I tell you, the first thing I started with has have also. That why I have got, and then get word, that have word, this would, could, these things used to attract me a lot, and then I started researching on all these things, and that's how I learned grammar from Google. I'm telling you, clarifying you, from Google. And grammar books also helped me. That I told you, I just brought one book from my brother. I just sought one book from my brother, so that helped me. But more than that, I learned from in a good way, in the advanced modern way, that was the Google. Because Google used to give me the to the point answer what I really wanted, because it's a robot obviously, so it used to give me the answer what I actually needed. Then after 3 months I became the instructor of the same organization, and as it was their startup, so they were not demanding for a perfect instructor, but I was okay for them. And about teaching, so I was not new to this field, and I don't mind saying that I was good at mathematics. So after 10th itself, I'm telling you, I don't know you people would believe or not, but after 10th standard itself, I started giving tuitions to the kids in my colony, and I used to teach them, and I got compliments about mathematics. So I had the idea that how to deal with a student, whether the student is at the age of 50 or the student is at the age of 5. But later on I became comfortable with the elder ones rather than the kids. So now what I'm doing, I think you people know, somewhere to some extent I don't want to mention it right now. I may upload another video where I would explain my journey to become a learner, to a trainer, to a certified trainer now. And that was my overall strategy. I'm telling you now, I repeat my thing. First I started to speak, then I started grammar, I started learning grammar. Here I want to mention one repeated thing, but I guess you might have got pissed off listening this thing. But yes, I did apply reading, listening, writing, and speaking. These four keys I applied in my case. When I started writing, so I just filled my diary with with all the things, whatever happened to me, or what I have been through, what happened in my life. Simply, I just filled my diary with that, just blurted out everything there. And what I actually did to my reading, listening, writing, and speaking, it's not hidden from you people, because I've already mentioned it in so many of my videos. I think 3 or 4 I have already mentioned it. You can go and you can watch it. So I have mentioned only the things which I applied to myself, obviously, because I experienced it. So I know that it works, and I believe it will work in your case too. So I guess I have mentioned around 70 to 80% whatever I did to myself, whatever I did to learn this language. And no one can be perfect. I agree, I'm still not perfect in this language. I'm still learning this language. It's like an ocean. There cannot be any end of this. Yes, I've covered almost all the things whatever I wanted to, and if something is left, then I will surely add it or cover it in the next video of mine. You people have reached to its end. Thank you so much to you people. I'm really glad to you people, because I know it requires a lot of patience to watch someone's video completely. You did it. See you soon in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.